everybody. Welcome to Coach's Corner. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my girlfriend's son-in-law, Belial Collins-Mateen from Mobile.
Yes.
He's a Bama fan, right?
Always. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
They're down for a week, him and Ellie. And thanks for watching the show. This is brought to you, of course, by Hill Kelly Dodge. And if you like it, make sure you share it. Every Monday night, we do a Goode and Faithful Servant. Kerry and I deep dive, Kerry Goode and I deep dive into his book, Goode and Faithful Servant. And as you know, been watching the show, he has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and he's going on 11 years now with the disease after only getting the diagnosis of 2 to 4.
Yeah, that's
and Bilal, it's a tough road. What a tough
any sickness you get. I pray for people with that,
terminal illness,
get through it, and beat it. That's the goal, is to beat it.
Yeah, that's what their goal is, and that's why he has the Kerry Goode Foundation. We're going to be talking about that foundation today on tonight's show, because Kerry has a roast coming up, his 60th birthday, and the Kerry Goode Foundation. Coach Bill Curry is going to be there, right? Played for Vince Lombardi with the Packers, and of course was the Alabama and Georgia Tech head coach. And I played for Coach Curry in an all-star game. What a great man. So he's going to be at the roast. Like I said, we deep dive into his book every week. We take a couple chapters. His chapters are broken up into 196 days, I think. So we are on, I believe, day 79, something like that. Okay. All right, here we go. And these are in Kerry's words. And thank God for AI technology, because now they can think it into the computer, Bilal, and come out.
The future is here.
Yeah, the future is here. That's right. So be ready for it. So this is one of the good things that the AI has done. And it comes out in his voice. So I just asked the questions. These are all in Kerry's voice. And let's get going. Most people are not very good at sharing how they feel. For those of you that are my age and older, we come from a time when men in our lives hardly spoke the words, I love you. I've heard heart-wrenching stories about people who didn't get a chance to say goodbye to their loved ones. It shouldn't take a global crisis to make us realize that we should never wait to say I love you to those who matter to us. But a lot of us are learning the hardest way imaginable, that tomorrow is never guaranteed. I am urging you. No, actually, I'm begging you. Don't wait until to tell people you love them, because when they're gone, no matter how long or how loud you shout it, they won't hear you anymore. So call your mom and your dad and your siblings and your best friend. Tell them how much they mean to you. Tell them today, tomorrow, every single day from now until the end of your time together. You will never regret saying I love you. Wow. KG, man, what a great way to start out the day, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You have to show that love all the time with your family, I believe.
Show them and tell them.
All the
Show
time.
them and tell them.
All the way to the end.
Yeah, KG, this is our first question for you. I admit that I say I love you to my family, close friends, kids, grandkids, every chance I get, and I tell my girlfriend every single day. Okay? A lot of people are still afraid or ashamed, or whatever reason they don't say it. And I just don't get it. Help me understand, Kerry.
Hello to everyone tuning in by radio or streaming online. It's so good to be with you again. I pray for peace, strength, and blessings over everyone under the sound of my voice. Thank you for letting me into your day. Now, I've been asked a question that really gets to the heart of how I live. How do you live daily with a terminal illness? And my honest response, you tell me, because in truth, we're all living on borrowed time. None of us get to stay here forever. But after being diagnosed with ALS, this slow, persistent line that comes at you one muscle at a time, I searched for an answer, and I found it in something I learned as a child. You see, Daniel didn't stop praying just because the king told him he couldn't. He kept his routine, his faith, his trust, and even when he was thrown into the lioness den, he slept like a baby. Why? Because he wasn't in there alone. God was right there with him. The LS can feel like a lioness den. You're vulnerable. You feel exposed. There's fear, frustration, pain, and grief. But here's the truth I've come to believe with everything I have left. You'd rather be in the lioness den with God than anywhere else without him. The lions still roar. The they don't get the final word. So when I say how you do anything is how you do EVRYTHING, I mean this. I choose to wake up each day with purpose, with dignity, and with faith. Whether it's brushing a thought across a communication device or rolling into an event, I do it with the mindset that this life, even now, still has meaning. So keep going, keep showing up. Even in the LIONS den, you're never alone.
We flip-flopped it. We messed up. But listen, day 79, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that was Kerry's answer. Okay. This was his chapter. I'll read it and then we'll go to 2. He said, I've been asked, how do you live daily with a terminal illness? He says, I've been asked that all the time. And my first response is, you tell me. You tell me.
Yeah.
We're all terminally ill, right?
Yeah.
Nobody gets out of here alive. But it's a question he says, I often wondered before I was diagnosed with ALS. Searching for an answer myself, I was remembered something I learned as a child. And Daniel, and then he tells the story about Daniel, an amazing habit of daily prayer. But the king signed a decree that no one could pray except to the king for 30 days. Yeah. And Daniel went home and he prayed as he always does. And they threw him into the den of lions. And Daniel slept like a baby while the king had a sleepless night because he actually cared for him a little bit. Right. But he threw him in. He was wondering, well, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Daniel just slept like a baby that night because he went in and they pulled him out and he was not a scratch found on him. None. And that's why Kerry says, wake up every day with purpose, dignity, and faith, because we're all living on borrowed time.
We are. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with him. I think that we have to just wake up and say, this is another day you've given me, and it's that game, so I'm going to play all the way till the end until, the touchdown.
Until I'm called.
Yep.
Until I'm called, because we never know when we're called. And this is a shout out to Michael Johnson, a friend of Angie and I. Angie grew up with him, close with him. I became real close with Michael as he coached our kids together. Molly, our hearts go out to Molly and all his family. Larry, his brother. Michael Johnson died suddenly, a good friend of mine, and God rest your soul, Michael. I wish I could have told you I love you one more time, but I know you loved us. So so let's move on. And we read, and that's called anything. How you do anything is how you do everything. And then if tomorrow never comes, that's what we just read there. Tomorrow never comes. We heard the response from them. So let's see here. Let's go to question 3. And I actually just wanted to celebrate Kerry because he breaks down this book. And you got to get his book, Goode and Faithful Servant. Let's see if I can grab it for you here. It's hard to see with a green screen on, but maybe you guys can see it up close. There's Kerry. There's his book, Goode. There it is. You can see it pretty good there, Goode and Faithful Servant. All right. Well, Kerry, just look it up. You can find it wherever you get books anywhere. We're into day 79, day 80. We take a couple chapters. And Kerry actually summarizes and wraps up what we're talking about today. So cool. Let's hear it from them in summary and in closing.
For the past few reflections, I've shared 3 powerful truths about faith, love, and legacy. First, I spoke from the heart about living with ALS. Every day feels like a LIONS den, full of uncertainty, vulnerability, and fear. But I've learned this. I would rather be in that den with God than anywhere else without him. The disease may roar, but it does not have the last word. Second, I reminded us all of something too often left unsaid. Say I love you. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Life is fragile, and love only matters when it is expressed. I make a point to tell my family, my friends, and my wife every chance I get. You should too. Do not let silence steal what your heart is trying to say. And third, I invited you to something truly special, the Kerry Goode Foundation Charity Roast on July 26, 2025. We are gathering to celebrate my 60th birthday and 10 years of living with ALS. But more than that, we are coming together to raise funds for ALS patients and families in need. So if anything I have said today stirred your soul, I invite you to take action. Visit www.goodefoundation.org/donate to get your tickets, become a sponsor, or simply make a donation. Every gift matters. Every voice raised in support matters. And to each of you listening, keep holding on to hope, keep sharing your heart, and And no matter what lines you are facing, remember this: you are not in it alone.
Wow. Wake up every day with purpose, dignity, and faith. We're all living on borrowed time. Love unspoken does not carry as much weight as openly and often saying it to people you care about. Wow. There's no strength greater than loving out loud, you say. I concur, Kerry. There's no greater way. Show them, tell them, and I don't know. It was just that generation. My father didn't say I love you.
Yeah. My dad's a baby boomer too, and he I think cut that boundary where no more of that. I got to show you I love you. You're my son, and that's that.
Show them and tell them you love them. Bilal, thanks, man. Have a great week. Thanks for coming down and visiting.
This has been awesome. I love this, man.
Yeah.
I love your podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, man.
Thanks. We got many more podcasts coming up. We're going to replay Walt Patulski on Tuesday night. Wednesday, a new edition of Four Wheel Drive. Thursday, we're going to rerun Victor Floyd's amazing story, PHS and Florida State running back, on Thursday. So you guys have a great sports week. Thanks for being here, Bilal.
Thank you guys.
Hey, peace. Talk to you all soon.
Have a good one. Bless.
Yeah, stay tuned for these important messages. Without these great sponsors, this just wouldn't be possible. Thanks, everybody.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
For 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352, 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We sell fun for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola, behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.